and I won't pronounce the name of the character because in my entire life I've never been able to pronounce it. But what was it like appearing in a story on the Doctor Who with Tom Baker?
Yeah, it was really fun. Princess Tika. Yeah, I mean, it was, if I say it was a job, it was a job. I went up for a part, I got it, and I thought, oh, good. 4 episodes of Doctor Who, that's fun. And of course, like Blue Peter, that was a program I'd been aware of on and off through my childhood, and it had kept going because, I was in my 20s by then. I mean, it was really nice. I think one of the lovely things about it is that everybody in it took it properly seriously. It is a children's program, and it tells stories that are quite, far-fetched or whatever. But Tom Baker was a brilliant actor, and he had the stripes from the RSC and the National and everything else in between. And he played that part as a character, which I think he was brilliant. And everybody in those particular episodes was exactly the same. I mean, obviously, out of rehearsal and off camera, they had some amazing stories and they would muck around brilliantly, but they had a real commitment to it as a job. So we all did, and it was a really good director, and amazingly, Douglas Adams, who wrote Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, was our script editor. But it was both of those things. It was another gig, good. That's another endorsement on my equity card. But it's also lovely to work with people who love the job they do and are really good at it. So, it's a combination. And the fact that people still talk about it, and occasionally I go to conventions and meet people who love Doctor Who are the loveliest bunch of people. I mean, they're far more knowledgeable than me, so I can't make claim to any big facts here. But they are really on it about, who was the designer, who was doing the special effects, who was, the whole story of it to them is meshed with the fact that it's also a television program, which is lovely.
And Doctor Who's one of those things. It's like I think Doctor Who and Blue Peter are, if you think about British made TV, and you think about the juggernauts that are still around, it's Doctor Who and Blue Peter, and rightly they've merged, they've made documentaries about it and all sorts.
Yeah.
Doctor Who's one of those things where if you appeared in it for like 1 second anyway, you can go to 100 conventions and everyone will know who you are. Because even if you're in the background of a ballroom scene, people know who you are and they
Absolutely.
it's just incredible.
Oh, people who've been fully disguised as monsters or whatever are, more than welcome at conventions. Yeah. So.
And do you reckon that when you speak to like when you go to these conventions and see these people, do you reckon that there's a crossover between you on Blue Peter and then you in Doctor Who? Do you reckon there's a large crossover that they both want to talk about both things, not just one?
Yes. And of course there was, as you said, there was a crossover anyway. The new Doctor Who was always announced on Blue Peter, and Peter Purvis had been in it and I'd been in it. So, and my dad ended up working in visual effects and working on Doctor Who, and then was interviewed on Blue Peter about it. So yeah, the programs were side by side. And then Gethin did a program after I'd left Blue Peter about that crossover, and how closely aligned the programs were. Yeah, so I suppose it's nice that those two are twinned because they are both still on air,
Yeah.
and again have that place in the firmament where nobody's going to say, I saw that program, I don't know why you were so mean about XYZ, which documentary makers must get all the time. But if you just skated along the surface as an actress and presenter, people just go, hey, love that. So I live in a nice world.
Yeah, and we mentioned about how the crossover. I think one of my abiding memories of the crossover was the 50th anniversary. I remember watching the Blue Peter special because I think they made an exemption and aired it on the Saturday, but they aired it like early in the morning, so you were prepared and more excited for Doctor Who because you would watch them in the CBC office gushing over it because Chris Johnson was a fan of
Right.
it. And then they went to Blue Peter whilst they had all the exclusive about the episode that you were about to watch that evening. And I think that worked really well because it's like people were getting really excited for an
Yeah.
event through this juggernaut of a program, which we
Yeah. Well, that's the key to it, isn't it? Everybody working on both those programs were enthusiastic about what they did. I've obviously, having had time on Blue Peter and Jigsaw, I'm often called upon to sort of defend children's TV programs.
Don't forget to subscribe to the official Tom Mason YouTube channel.